they had the markup and it got through. None of the Democrats voted for it. And so if we do make it to midterms and we don't have it across the line and the Dems do get in and can take control of the House or the Senate, we might not even see the Clarity Act this year, which would be detrimental. Ripple is a huge advocate for, a multi-chain future. One of the other things that Jack and Lauren were talking about is wrapping XRP on other blockchains or how it's interacting in those ecosystems. And that's how they kind of determine where they should be launching RLUSD. They just launched on a couple other L2s on Ethereum, Arbitrum, and some of the other networks they're issuing RLUSD on. The ecosystems that are adopting XRP as collateral or using it in some capacity in DeFi is where they're spending their time and where they're issuing RLUSD. And there's a synergistic component between Ripple's RLUSD and XRP. It's kind of an infinite feedback loop, and they work extremely well together to be able to settle value and payments. Same thing with other stable coins. As those are issued and Ripple works with other counterparties to get those to market, you're going to continue to see the adoption of XRP because, again, they stated it again today. It is at the core of their business, and I was super excited for them to host XRP Family or Community Day and get up there and kind of explain to everybody. Because again, like these acquisitions, people hear that and they go, okay, that's cool, but I really don't know what that means. If you don't understand prime brokerage and how derivatives work and the lending and what they're doing with the collateral there, it sounds ambiguous. You really don't have a concept of what that means for the market and the adoption of this asset. And then, G Treasury, like that was huge because again, of all the things I just mentioned, idle capital is not earning money during that duration. If they're able to hold RLUSD and participate in a money market or be able to move from tokenized deposits into a money market and back and forth, and it's ubiquitous and liquid 24/7, 365, you're able to aggregate a lot more value and generate a lot more value and also reduce fees and costs that you had in the other system. So why wouldn't you adopt that, right? Pivotal year in 2026. And I think we're, on the precipice. And that was another thing. I think I mentioned this on the Monday live, but we had Paul Adkins talking on a news network earlier this week, talking about the tokenization of the back end of the stock market and that we were right on the cusp of that taking place. That will happen before they tokenize stocks. You need instant settlement on the back end between the clearinghouses and the brokers to be able to settle real time T0 or T+0 versus T+1, which is what we are today, before they implement the tokenization of the stock market. And they said that they were going to tokenize the stock market in the latter half of this year, so after Q2.